This is my custom website that I have hooked into my Hermes Agent. It shows me everything from reports, a mission control center, different projects that I have, and different milestones that I'd like to complete. And it's fully live and hosted on the internet. And today I'm going to show you guys how to get something similar going on your own Hermes instance. So let's get into it. So first things first, let's do a full tour of this web portal that I have set up. So the first thing I have here is the reports, and this one is really cool. So far, I only have 3 or 4 different reports in here, but they are some of the coolest things I've set up in a long time. So one of them is my YouTube channel, Opportunity Briefs. It shows me everything that I need to know for both of my channels. I actually have 2 different channels. I have a gaming channel and an AI channel, which is this one right here. And let's just go into the AI report. So this one was last produced on 6/6 today, and it just shows me everything that I need to know so I can kind of get a good idea of the landscape, what's working for my channel and what's not working for my channel. Now this did take a while to set up, and this doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the website itself, but I did have to set up a Google Cloud interface app in order to hook into all of my analytics for both channels. So it pulls directly as a read-only file for all of my channels and shows me all of this really cool information about this channel specifically. So source data snapshot, what the analytics say. It shows me what are my top supporting videos right now, what's working, what's not working, which ones are popular, which ones have the most likes, comments, shares, and audience retention, packaging patterns, like everything that I need to know in order to make the best content possible for this channel. And it is just one of the coolest things I think I've ever set up, and it is helping me run this channel like so much better. It gives me great ideas of what I need to do, what I need to look at, areas where I need to make improvements, and it just runs this for me and it sends this to me every single day. So down here it's showing me some different video ideas with a full scoring system, analytics fit, demo hook, thumbnail, confidence, really cool. And they're just different ideas. So for example, I'm done with Openclaw. It noticed that there was a Hermes update that actually came through today. So it's saying do a 0.16, what is the new local stack for AI? So they're kind of thinking I should combine different things like local AI with the newest update. So pretty cool. And I mean, obviously I'm not doing every single one of these videos, but it's a really cool idea that I can come down here and just kind of scroll and see what it thinks is working and get some good ideas of what's out there currently based on its web search, and then also what is working on my channel in general. So really cool. And then it's got this full huge report, and then it also sends me one weekly that is a lot longer and really quick. This is my other channel. This is a gaming channel. I don't post here as much anymore, but it's the same type of thing. It tells me what some of my best videos are right now, some different video types that I've used in the past. I used to do a lot of Skyrim mod testing. I've showed people how to undervolt their graphics card, and I did a lot of Starfield tips and tricks. So some of that kind of cool stuff. And it's kind of noticing that all these different types of videos are still trending and still relevant on that channel, which is kind of cool. So down here, I'm actually just curious what it's telling me to do. So it's telling me to do some different types of videos kind of all over the map, because that channel I'm kind of covering a bunch of different topics, but it's still giving me the full rating system and giving me ideas of what to do next. So really cool. And then the next really cool one here, we don't have to go through all of these reports today, but this one is really cool. And I think I've showed a little bit about this in the past, is a stock research. So this is a full stock research on the AI build out. And here's all the different ones that it's produced. So it only does it during the week. So the last one it produced was on the 5th here. And let's just do a quick little peek here and see what it's done for us. So AI build out for June 5th. And it gives me this full macro snapshot, CapEx, top build out stocks. So obviously NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductors, Broadcom, and it produces a pretty similar report every single day from what I've noticed, but that's just because these are currently the main players, and it does slowly kind of tweak some of the different stocks and change them up a little bit. And then I even added down at the bottom here, I added some undervalued speculative AI stocks that I think would be a good section to add, so that I can look at some of these and see if they're worth investing in. A lot of these companies I don't even know. I guess that's what makes them speculative, right? And then I come down here and it gives me full relative strength tiers per different stock type. What changed since yesterday? I actually really like this one because I can kind of get a brief overview of what's going on. Like Broadcom had bad earnings and it pretty well tanked the whole market. If you guys were paying attention to stocks, you would know that Friday was an absolute bloodbath, or at least last Friday, depending on when I get this video out the door. So anyway, yeah, this is really cool. And I really like the kind of broad overview, and the formatting looks so much cooler. And how these are being sourced. So right now it is actually a script that is being converted from my Discord channel. So here I have a custom Discord setup. It has all of my different profiles. I can talk to all of them individually. And then I have the exact same report being sent to these channels. So I actually like this. It's kind of like a way to get started. So the first thing I would recommend is getting these set up in a Discord server. So I have different channels set up here. So these are the different content strategies, and it's pretty much the same information, but obviously it looks way worse because the formatting is not super amazing in Discord. But what it's doing is I had Hermes create a script that it's going to take the information that it generates from these different reports, and then it converts it and sends it to that web server. And then it'll take that script. The script is essentially set up in Cloudflare pages, and it does a commit and push. And then essentially after it does that, it'll post it to the website. And I'll show you guys how to get that set up in a little bit here. So as you can see, I have both my YouTube channels here. And then I also have the stock research one. This is also pretty much the same information. And it's, like I said, just taking this information and just turning it into a very nice, neat report in CSS using a script. And that also saves me some token usage as well. So I'm not using like my best agent, I use OpenAI GPT 5.5. So I'm not using my absolute best agent to create the CSS and the web reports every single day. So it saves a lot of token usage, and then everything is also consistent. So that's one of the coolest things about using a script once you get it set up correctly. So that covers my reports, at least the ones that I have set up right now. I'm sure I'll be doing a part 2 on this website as it keeps continuing to evolve. So the next cool thing that I had it set up is the mission control. And this is really cool. And I pretty much just told it like, hey, just do what you think is best and set up the most detailed mission control you can. And I did add a few things to it. So by and large, this is pretty much just a one-shot prompt. And this is the full mission control. It tells me like where I need to focus my attention. Those attention, system health, and I think it's referring to one of the cron jobs. And this actually is wrong. It says read only command center. Right now, it actually is set up to run every 30 minutes and update the entire Hermes instance and status report and send it to this website every 30 minutes using a script. So if we look down here, you can see that it says there's 6 profiles. That's correct. 25 cron jobs, 30 reports, and 5 incidents. And I even got it set up so I have my OpenAI Codex subscription meter right in here at the top, which I just love, and I think it looks awesome. And if we scroll down a little further here, you can see you have all of my agents. So this is my default Hermes agent that I use for most tasks. And then these are all the sub profiles. So Atlas is our coder. Claudia is the site builder and synthesis. Glyph does our deep research and reasoning and is also our creative writer. Intel is the heavy research agent and trend structure. And then Nova's on my local model right now, running on my Mac Studio in my basement. And it's currently on Qwen 3.635BA3B. And it is like the kind of like the catch-all assistant for everything. And then you can see here, it says how everything is connected too. So I have Discord connected on all these. This one specifically has Telegram for the main agent, and then Home Assistant on Nova, and then also on the main agent. So if we scroll down here, this is where it's kind of cool. It tells you if there's any issues. And I decided not to fix any of these issues first, just so I could show you guys what it looks like. So right now I do have some problems. Right now it's saying for attention, there's 4 active jobs that are failing, and these are actually for that YouTube analytics. It is a temporary token access from what I found, and it only lasted for 7 days. So I do have to like do a different system so I can deploy it as like a publisher app to get those analytics. And I think I'm gonna have to refresh the token as well. But yeah, I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it like this just so I can show you guys how this looks when it does show me that there is a cron in an error state. So that's these here, and then also the deep analytics reports, which is the same thing for both YouTube channels. And then down here are some of the crons that I have currently paused. So at one point I had an Openclaw improvement proposal, and that one obviously I'm not using anymore because I'm not using Openclaw right now, and I don't know when I'm going to be going back, if ever. And then down here we have the Nova daily YouTube pulse. So this is also similar to what was going on up here. It was just kind of a lesser version of these two, and I probably actually could just delete this one. So that pretty much tells me, hey, there's a cron that's paused that you could just get rid of. So if we go down here, we can see what the portal currently knows. So 20 reports, 10 reports, the Hermes website, which is this, and then the snapshot. And then this is really cool too. Things worth James's attention. Nova YouTube Pulse CSG analysis. So we just went through all of these. We know that they are in an error state, and that is something that I am going to have to take care of. And it's even telling me right now, this is cool. It says Hermes update is available. And then it also looks like it's giving me some tasks to look at down here. So also really cool. It's pretty much taken like the information and just translated it to give me like different things that I need to look out for. This is closer to more like a dashboard, and I don't think I'm going to add much more to it than this because the dashboard, the default dashboard in Hermes is already built out marvelously, and it works so well. And also they just released the desktop app, and that app is also really cool. I really enjoying that app. And also, if you guys are unfamiliar with that app, check out my other video. I just did a video on it and how to get it all set up. And then finally here, I don't have much more built out. This is kind of just milestones, some different projects I'm working on. The Hermes website that we're looking at right here, the YouTube analytics, mission control, that one's pretty much done. I'll probably add a little bit more to it. But then also my Comfy UI cloud, I am working on some more workflows with that for better image generation. So that pretty well covers the website in its current state, and I think it just looks really cool, really awesome, and it looks good on mobile, and I can access it easily. And then also it is fully password protected. And since this is being hosted on the internet, this is how I keep it safe. So it's actually being hosted literally on the internet. I can access it from anywhere. It's just one of the domains that I purchased in Cloudflare. So I set up a Cloudflare access. I only gave it my email, so it'll only react to my own email. And then once I type that email in, it gives me a code. So all I have to do is go to my email, and it's very similar if you're like familiar with like Anthropic, how they do their login. It just sends you that like login code. So I just copy the code and paste it in here and then hit verify. And then it should just log me right into the website. So here we go, it's logged right in. So now you're probably thinking, okay, well, that's really cool, but how do I get it set up on my own Hermes Agent system? So there are a few things you're going to need. It does take a little bit of setup process, but once you get it set up, it is awesome. It is fully autonomous, and you barely have to really do anything with it. So the first thing I would recommend is setting up a GitHub account just for your Hermes Agent. So this is a GitHub account that I actually set up for my Openclaw instance. So it's pretty simple. Once you get the GitHub account set up, just ask your Hermes agent, hey, how do I set this up? I want to give you your own GitHub account where you can create repos, you can do whatever you want, you can commit to it, you can send push, you can sync to it, whatever you need to do. And that way, this will set up some more ideas and more things you can do on your own system for coding and everything else. So say you want to like go to bed, but you're like, you know what? I want Hermes to work on something overnight. Say, hey, I want you to work on this overnight. Go ahead and use the GitHub repo and push whatever files you need to, and just show me what you built in the morning. So that's the coolest thing about having Hermes have its own GitHub account. And I'll probably be doing some more videos on this as well. So the next thing you're going to need is to set up a Cloudflare account. And the reason I like to use Cloudflare is a few reasons. A, you can add the password protection to make it secure. B, it has a service that's called Cloudflare Pages, which is fully free and gives you an absurd amount of usage even for a free user. And C, you can buy the domains from Cloudflare at cost pricing, which means that you're not going to get screwed over every single year like places like GoDaddy or Namecheap, where they try to jack up the price on you every year. Cloudflare is just going to charge you the same amount every single year. So you're going to need to find yourself some sort of domain. So for example, you could do like, I'm sure this is not available, but just as an example, like Hermes Cloud. So hermescloud.com is not available. I didn't think it would be, but here's some other examples that they give you. So you could do something like hermescloud.org. It's only $8 a month because it's an org site, or something .net. The .net sites are around $12 and the .com sites are right around $11. So pretty much just go find something that you like. You could even just type in something like cloud, like anything you can think of, like digitalcncloud.net is available. Just try to think of some sort of website to come up with and then just purchase it. And then you're essentially just gonna be paying however much that is per year. So in this case, it would be $11.86 per year to own digitalcncloud.net. So once you purchase your domain, you'll want to tell your Hermes agent, hey, I want you to set up a website. I want it to be hosted on GitHub, and I want to use Cloudflare Pages. And Hermes will go through and tell you exactly what you need to input into Cloudflare Pages in order to get this set up. So in this case here, you can go and search in the Cloudflare console for workers and pages. And then on this page here, you're going to say create an application. And then the next thing you want to click on is continue with GitHub, because that is how we're going to have this set up. I have two different GitHub accounts on here. So this is the GitHub account that I have connected to my Openclaw instance, and it'll give you an option here to connect this to GitHub. And then you'll click on the project that you're trying to produce. And then you'll want to click on advanced settings here. And then these are all of the different settings. And your Hermes agent will tell you exactly which areas you need to change and which areas need to stay the same. I think most of this pretty much stayed the same. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and hit this deploy button. Now mine has already been deployed, but right here, you can go ahead and it's going to give you a temporary website. But if you bought your domain on Cloudflare, it's already going to be in Cloudflare. So you don't have to do any like transfer over or anything like that. You can do a transfer over if you already own a website somewhere else. But if you already bought in Cloudflare, it's as easy as just going into these options, click add a domain, and then clicking on the domain that you want. And then if you want to add a subdomain to it, so for example, it could be like hermes.cloud.com. Obviously cloud.com's taken, but a subdomain would be something like that where you put something in front. So you would just route it to that if you have that purchased in Cloudflare. Then you would hit this add domain button here. And then once you've done that, you've fully deployed your website onto the internet. And the next thing you want to do is set up security. That's very important because otherwise everyone can see all of the information you're putting onto this website, including all reports and everything. So you want to go to, in Cloudflare, Zero Trust. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to go to access control and then applications, and you're going to want to create a new application. And then go ahead and hit continue down here. And then this is where you can type in the website. So like, for example, if you're hosting this at a subdomain like Hermes, and then the domain, let's just say it's at like cloud.com, even though that's not one of my websites. And then, or if you're doing it at a path, but I recommend using a subdomain over a path. Or you could just do it directly at the website itself. So just if you want to only use that website for Hermes and nothing else, you could just do it directly at the domain. You don't even need a subdomain. Now, this is a website I use for multiple things, so that is why I'm using a subdomain. And then the next thing you want to do is create an access policy. So create new policy. We're going to go down to emails, and then you're going to want to type in your email. So I'll just do example@gmail.com. And then you'll want to come over here and change your policy name to whatever you want. The action right here is allow. And then I like to change this to 24 hours. So after 24 hours, it's going to make you log in again. That just makes it more secure. And then you go ahead and hit save this policy. And then the final thing down here is you just want to make sure that your policy is to the website. So I didn't assign a website here because I didn't click on any of the websites that I have, but you'll click on that up here when you select your domain. And Hermes, again, if you need any help, Hermes will help you get this set up. That's why I love Hermes, especially if you got it on a smart model like GPT 5.5. Hermes will get you set up and going in no time. And one last thing I forgot to mention is the cool thing with this process is if you ever need to make a change, all you have to do is tell the Hermes agent to commit the change to GitHub, tell it to commit and push the change to GitHub, and then it'll automatically sync with Cloudflare pages. That's the cool thing about using this process. So you're like, okay, I want to add this, like for example, the codex usage that I added on the mission control. I want to add this, and now I want you to commit and sync or commit and push to GitHub. And then once it does that, Cloudflare will detect the changes and automatically update the website. That's one of the coolest reasons why I have it set up this way. So that is how you get a full website set up with your Hermes agent, and you can do it completely for free using Cloudflare's free pages service. So if you guys need any help on getting this all set up, let me know down below in the comments. I'd be happy to help if you guys need some additional guidance. I'm be doing some more videos on all things Hermes, some local models. So if any of that interests you, consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, have a wonderful day.